Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Red Donkey Projections. My name is Lucas, and sadly Eric was busy today, so he couldn't make it, but I'll be doing this episode by myself. If you didn't hear from yesterday's live stream, by the way, we did live stream yesterday. Today, I will be doing the 2020 New Jersey House elections predictions. I will go through every race and determine who will win each race. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So, I think it might be better to do each district by each district. If you didn't know and you weren't here for the live stream yesterday, Eric and I are from the state of New Jersey. This is home territory, and I'll be going through this map here. Before I begin, I do want to give some context of the state of New Jersey. New Jersey is seen as the solid blue state. And the reason for that is because of northern New Jersey. Northern New Jersey, we can see right here, is directly next to New York City. In fact, parts of New Jersey are part of what we call Greater New York City. We also live in Greater New York City up here in northern Jersey. The reason why this is pretty democratic here is because of the fact that it is pretty populated. There are cities here. More people translates to obviously more votes. We got big cities here like Newark, and that's kind of why, and also Jersey City, kind of why New Jersey always seems to vote blue in the presidential elections. Because although southern Jersey is more rural, less people, less populated, it's a lot more Republican than northern Jersey is. And however, because they have a lot less people than northern Jersey, they can't really swing the presidential election. That's why we always see New Jersey going blue. That's kind of similar to the Illinois case where Chicago is very blue and it kind of dictates the election. Anyways, that's kind of my spiel about New Jersey. Let's go through this district by district. Let's start with the only safe Republican district, I believe. That's District 4. This is Chris Smith. He has held this seat for years now. He's one of the most senior Republicans and senior members of Congress. I remember reading that despite most of New Jersey turning blue, moving more to the left, each district, the only district that has moved more to the right since I believe 2012 is this 4th district here. So I think Chris Smith will carry this seat pretty safely. Now we're going to head to the safe Democratic districts, which there are a lot of safe blue states here. I don't think I should probably go through all of them. I'll put them all in. I'll explain a kind of a brief overview of all of them. The first one is Josh Gottheimer. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. Josh Gottheimer, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Bill Bashful, Albo Sires in the 8th district, Donald Payne the Jr. in the 10th district, Bonnie Coleman in District 12, and Donald Norcross, Frank Pallone, and I believe that is it. So I'm going to give a brief overview of why I decided to put these as solid. Many of these representatives have served many years, a lot more than just a freshman. And they are part of relatively Democratic districts. We look at North Jersey, we got some here. Norcross is pretty south, and I think this is near Gloucester, which is relatively Republican. But I do think he will probably still continue serving because he has served for quite a while, and the New Jersey elections usually do swing to the left house-wise. We saw that in 2018, where the New Jersey Democrats kind of swept it. They took 11, they took 7, they took 3. It was quite a landslide for them. And I think that Norcross will probably still get reelected and serve again. And the same can be said about all these other Democrats as well. Many of them have served for a while. I think Gottheimer's only served for 4 years, though, for 2 years. I think he's 4 years. But the rest of these, pretty long time. I think they'll probably get reelected because they do have that name recognition in their district at that point. All right, let's now head to the not so certain ones. The actually first one that is likely is Mikey Sherrill's district in District 11. She doesn't really have that strong of an opponent. However, the reason why I'm putting this one as likely, she is a freshman representative. She might not have gained as much name recognition as some of the other Democrats has. And the other issue with her in District 11 is District 11 is usually held by a Republican. It is a relatively Republican district. It was held before Mikey Sherrill by Rodney Frelinghuysen. He held that seat for 30 years, I believe, more than 30 years. Mikey Sherrill is a Democrat. However, she is a blue dog Democrat that does help her out, basically more of a moderate. And taking that into consideration, I think Mikey probably will get reelected. However, considering the circumstances, it's not 100% certain, I guess you could say. Oh, by the way, this district here is part of New York. This is Staten Island, actually, which is pretty interesting to think about. That's this close to New Jersey. Doesn't belong. Anyways, that was really unrelated, but let's head down to, let's go to the leans. Lean Democratic, Tom Malinowski, District 7. You're probably wondering why. This district was held by Leonard Lance before Tom Malinowski, who was another freshman representative, was elected. He hasn't really gained that name recognition. He did serve under Obama as, I believe, Assistant Secretary of Human Rights, something around there. But I don't think he's really gained enough name recognition in this district. He does have a relatively tough opponent. He's facing against Tom Kin Jr., who is the current Senate Minority Leader for the Republicans in the New Jersey State Senate. His father was the former governor of New Jersey, Thomas Kean. However, I do think that Malinowski does have a relatively good lead here. He does have that incumbency advantage, and New Jersey 7 has been swinging a bit more to the left. And taking that into consideration, I do think Tom Malinowski at the end of the day will pull off a victory, although it's going to be slimmer than some of these other safe districts. Now let's head to Jeff Van Drew. Jeff Van Drew, for those of you who don't know, he was elected in 2018 as a Blue Dog Democrat. He switched parties in 2020, beginning of 2020, January 2020, to become the Republican Party. He's told President Trump that he had undying support for him. And what's kind of surprising, I said this at yesterday's live stream as well, he actually voted with the Democrats 87% of the time in Congress, which I think is interesting to think about. With that being said, however, I do think he has the advantage here to winning this district. And the reason why is because New Jersey 2 is a pretty Republican district. And I think many people thought he was very lucky to win in 2018. In fact, I think Politico moved this race from toss-up to lean R following him changing parties, which is interesting to think about. I think that Van Drew, it's going to be a lean. And the reason why it's not more than a lean is because the people might not have appreciated him changing sides. He doesn't really have that big of an opponent, although she has been doing quite well. It's going to be interesting to see what will happen in November. I think, yes, Van Drew will pull off a victory, but it will be relatively slim. And this gets to the final district here, probably the closest district of these races. Andy Kim, New Jersey 3. The reason why I think that it will probably go to Andy Kim, although this is a pretty Republican district, I think that Andy Kim has a slight edge due to that incumbency advantage. 2018 was close. No one expected him to win. He won by 1 to 2%. I think it was one of the closest races in the midterms. He beat MacArthur, I believe, who served there before. And I think that he has a tiny, tiny advantage that I think other sources point out as well. Although it's a Republican district, he's probably going to still carry out the victory. Very slim. This one is the race to look at in the 2020 House elections, and we will take a look at it very closely these next few days, along with the other races here, although most aren't that competitive. And with that being said, that is the end of the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you like our content, please subscribe. We'll see you in our next episode tomorrow. See ya.